Good evening. I'm Bob Davis, Executive Director of the Winnakee Land Trust. Winnakee's thrilled to welcome you to our virtual party, celebrating protection of local forests and high-value conservation areas that are essential to our future. Tonight's theme, Enchanted Forest, celebrates the wonder and magic of forests, both imaginatively and in honor of all the ecological benefits they bring to our environmental health and well-being. We also honor individuals that through their passion and dedication have made an extraordinary impact on our local environment. We're excited to bring the party right into your home with music, dance, and lively community collaborations that speak to the best of our region. We hope you enjoy the gift boxes with goods donated from dedicated local businesses. We're grateful to them and to tonight's sponsors and Open Field Society members who make possible Winnakee's mission to conserve and steward lands in our region. This first video highlights Winnakee's conservation achievements and active stewardship model in action. And with that, on with the show.
I'm Dave Clipon, co-chair of the Winnakee Trails Committee. Connecting the community to the land has been a central part of Winnakee's mission for over 30 years. Winnakee's extraordinary conservation growth in the last year has afforded us opportunities to build new trails that bring the public closer to nature. Our Trails Committee has been passionately at work doing just that.
In designing trails, our first priority is always protecting the land, vulnerable wetlands, and habitats, so that trails have minimal impact on wildlife, plants, soil, waterways. At the same time, we know that providing more recreational opportunities on our preserves helps people appreciate the wonders of nature and also inspires the next generation of stewards to safeguard it. Here at Dutchess Gables, new trails were established primarily along low-impact existing woods roads. Thanks to a vision by the landowner to make Dutchess Gables a special place for the community, along with a generous grant, We were quickly able to construct over 3 miles of loop trails, which takes visitors across the landscape through forested lands, meadows, buttonbush swamps, and to a view of the Taconic Mountains. Visitors can also witness active forest management underway by Winnakee to restore vulnerable wildlife habitats and enhance forest resilience. All trails were designed to be easy to navigate, family-friendly, and low maintenance, with seeded grass and pervious surfaces.
Open spaces this last year gave us moments of respite, as well as ways to stay connected with nature and each other during uncertain times. The health benefits that a tranquil walk along a scenic trail can bring to our physical and mental well-being are immeasurable. Recreational opportunities also promote togetherness, strengthen community, and support our local economy. At our new Marsh property, 1.5 miles of the existing trails were fortified, offering visitors picturesque views along the area's second largest wetland and through forested areas, as well as a connection to the Landsman-Kill equestrian trails. While there, visitors will get a glimpse of Bly's rich diversity of bird and amphibian life, and if lucky, one of the families of beavers.
Winnakee trails offer something for everyone, from these 2 new ecologically important preserves to the highest point in the area atop Burger Hill, to the landscape that inspired FDR's love of forestry at the Winnakee Nature Preserve, to the upcoming pedestrian-friendly trails at Sawkill that will connect Bard College with the town of Red Hook as part of Red Hook's village-to-village trail network. Winnakee is committed to bringing more ways for the public to connect and benefit from the bounty of our region.
Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to be here with you at Marsh to celebrate our forested lands. A special thank you to our wonderful staff, Stephanie Wyant and Yuri Perrin, who have achieved another incredible virtual event. Of course, so much of our theme needed our magic man, Richard Prouse, who is now our honored master fairy world maker. Richard helped tutor, guide, and demonstrate the makings of our fairies, fairy houses, and all the wondrous woodland creatures. He and many other individuals, young and old, all volunteered to create this magical world. The Hummingbird and Winter Sun Summer Moon shops in Rhinebeck have graciously allowed us to use their windows to display some of these wonderful creations. And hopefully you've been enjoying a sampling of the great artistic talent we have in our community. Come visit Marsh in Rhinebeck over the next week to tiptoe through the forest, where you'll be surprised by fairies and other woodland creatures along the trail. Winnakee thanks Richard, our fairy committee, and all the artists who helped tell this magical story. We are grateful for their energy and enthusiasm. It is only through strong community support that Winnakee continues to be a leader in its land conservation efforts. Today, more than ever, as a community, we value the importance of our outdoors and the many recreational opportunities organizations like Winnakee can provide. And now, a special note to everyone. Please remember to bid on the wonderful watercolor of Marsh, painted by Rhinebeck's illustrious artist, Betsy Giacaruso. Betsy donated this inspiring painting to help raise funds to manage the Marsh trails, its wetlands, and its very special forested lands. So now don't forget to bid high.
Healthy forests are the green infrastructure that provide ecological essentials critical to our daily lives, like clean air, clean water, wildlife habitat, biodiversity, carbon storage for mitigating climate change, and of course our region's incredible scenic landscapes. But what makes up an enchanted forest? We know certain birds and mammals only thrive in large forested areas. So protecting parcels that make up 500 contiguous acres or more is a key component of Winnakee's conservation strategy. In the last year, Winnakee acquired a triangle of 3 properties in the towns of Rhinebeck and Clinton, forming a series of stepping stones to link larger, unfragmented blocks of forest along a critical wildlife and plant migration corridor identified by both the New York Natural Heritage Program and the Nature Conservancy. These are our Vly Marsh, Zippelberg Bog, and Primrose Hill Jobson Swamp properties. The preserves represent a diversity of forest structures and tree species, from forests that rose from abandoned agricultural land at Vly and also at Primrose to a largely undisturbed hemlock hardwood forest at Zippelberg, which includes trees of more advanced ages that have flourished around this area's only dwarf shrub bog. Expanding these linkages in our region is a core component of Winnakee's new conservation strategy. This includes the maintenance and conservation of lands for both rare habitat protection and maximum carbon storage while fostering connectivity for migrating wildlife. A truly enchanted forest is one with the ability to support robust wildlife and plant populations, as well as its surrounding human population far into the future. Given the effects of a changing climate, the lands Winnakee works every day to protect have the right characteristics to help at-risk species populations as the world faces an ongoing biodiversity crisis. This next short video shows some of the more magical things you'll find in a healthy Hudson Valley forest, set to a chorus of New York native frogs. I still don't know how they trained them to do this.
One of my goals in joining the board last year is to make people more aware of the gifts that Winnakee brings them. Most of us have been to Burger Hill Park and have experienced its breathtaking views as one of our area's most treasured parks. What is less well known about Winnakee's work is the stewardship and habitat restoration taking place in the lands we protect. This work is largely unseen by the public. Our stewardship efforts are an indispensable investment in our region's future. While restoring or conserving the land, its resources and features, stewardship builds bridges for future conservation work with neighbors, visitors, members, donors, and the general public. It is a practice that builds trust in our efforts and connects with our community. Winnakee is leading local land trusts in the understanding that it is no longer enough to simply protect land from development. Our investment in forest management and stewardship techniques of the lands we protect is intentional. This next video highlights stewardship activities over the last year at Winnakee's Duchess Gables property in Stamford. In these woodlands, the restoration of a diversity of habitats across the landscape are helping to save irreplaceable wildlife and ensuring protected forests thrive.
A healthy landscape has a mosaic of habitat types, including young forests, and supports a diversity of wildlife. In the early 1900s, New York State was more farmland than forest. Today, 63% of our landscape is forested with predominantly middle-aged trees. Over the past 50 years, young forests and shrublands have dwindled, along with 60 species of mammals, songbirds, and other wildlife that rely on them for habitat to survive. Duchess Gables is the flagship property of Winnakee's active stewardship model. A 30-acre portion of this property is a former pasture, now a 40-year-old forest lacking dense regrowth of small trees and shrubs that typically occur after natural disturbances like fire, windstorms, and flooding. Last summer, Winnakee began resetting the clock on Dutchess Gables, helping to reestablish its natural life cycle so that younger trees and wildlife can thrive. I'm standing in one of 2 3-acre meadows created for this purpose. We're also regrowing trees and shrubs at 5-year intervals, bringing back critical habitat. While primarily intended to benefit 3 species of greatest conservation need in New York State, the New England cottontail, American woodcock, and golden-winged warbler, our conservation efforts here will also benefit ruffed grouse, monarch butterflies, and the whole suite of wildlife that depend on young forest and shrubland, such as box turtles, wood turtles, spotted turtles, whippoorwills, and blue-winged and prairie warblers, along with many more common species such as wild turkeys, wood thrushes, and numerous other songbirds. Another stewardship project underway at Dutchess Gables is removing non-native invasive plants. Extensive portions of this forest understory are over 90% covered with Japanese barberry, which is damaging for both ecological as well as public health reasons. In the absence of competition from native vegetation due to excessive foraging by white-tailed deer, barberry quickly takes over the forest floor, changing the soil chemistry and preventing new native plants from growing. They also create a humid microclimate that favors black-legged tick survival, and studies have shown the higher the density of barberry, the higher the density of ticks, and ticks that carry harmful diseases. Finally, a third project will focus on rejuvenating the property's mature forest. Here, we will create small, strategically located canopy breaks in the overstory to allow more sunlight to hit the ground to encourage the growth of new trees and herbaceous native plants. Since overpopulation of deer are a significant factor in the decline of forest regeneration, we will fence 20-acre areas at a time to exclude deer until the young trees grow tall enough to survive. As more land is converted to development or reverts to mature forest, healthy landscapes such as these are becoming increasingly uncommon in the Hudson Valley. Winnakee's ongoing forest management at Dutchess Gables serves as a pilot for the ways we can actively steward our local forests to sustain the diversity of plants and animals within them.
Hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Sternlieb, and I'm a supporter of Winnakee and a member of their Open Field Society. When I moved to Rhinebeck about 4 years ago, I was immediately struck by the beauty of the open land, which is very different from my native South Florida. When I discovered Winnakee, I embraced its mission as essential to the health of the environment and our quality of life here in Dutchess County. Did you know that most of New York's forested lands are in private hands, and that many of those lands are owned by people over the age of 65? That means we have a short window to protect our local forests and keep them intact, or they will be lost forever. Winnakee is committed to preserving our open spaces for generations to come. As a photographer, I take great pleasure in experiencing the richness of our forested lands. And that's why I made a matching grant to be the catalyst for people like you to take action to protect these forests, home to a diversity of creatures and the beating heart of our ecosystem. Building sustainable forests is not only within our reach, but it's something we need to make happen now. Please join me and invest in our forests, the forests that feed our spirit and fill our hearts with joy.
Hello, everyone. It is with great pleasure that I join you here today to present the Community Excellence Award to the Rhinebeck Interact Club, which is sponsored by the Rhinebeck Rotary. As an advisor of the club, I can tell you that our members are some of the most incredible, hardworking, and compassionate students I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. Interact students partner with Winnakee on stewardship at Drayton Grant Park, at Burger Hill, and as stellar cleanup volunteers on the Route 9G 2-mile-long Winnakee Adopt a Highway stretch, which passes Burger Hill. This is an example of the kind of collaboration that Winnakee looks forward to doing more of in the future. Throughout the community, Interact students can be seen at cleanups at the Green Cemetery in Rhinebeck, participating in the Village of Rhinebeck tree plantings, and doing other environmental projects in Rhinebeck, such as helping with the compost program at the high school. The Rhinebeck Interact Club has worked to improve the lives of both their fellow students and our community during the pandemic. The club did grocery shopping and food delivery to seniors and others who were unable to leave their homes due to COVID. They have worked tirelessly to obtain greater resources for community members in need, and I cannot be happier to see them honored here. Without further ado, please join me in celebrating the Rhinebeck Interact Club as I present them with the Winnakee Land Trust's Community Excellence Award.
We are honored to be presented with the Community Excellence Award by Winnakee Land Trust. We are grateful for all that we have learned working as volunteers for both Winnakee and the community at large. Not all our members could be here today, but we are all proud to serve our community and graciously accept this award on behalf of the entire Rhinebeck Interact Club. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Carl Meyer, and I'm the president of the Winnakee Board. This has been an amazing year for Winnakee. Winnakee's Board of Directors is excited about our expanded mission of protecting our threatened forested lands and vulnerable watersheds. We are fortunate to have among our board members someone who has taken a leadership role in land conservation throughout the region. Tonight, we are recognizing him for his extraordinary efforts and for being instrumental in helping with Winnakee's success. It is a pleasure to present the Good Land Award to David Smith. Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you.
Dave has been a major supporter of the work of Winnakee, serving on our board of directors and playing a major role in leadership efforts to advance Winnakee's broadened mission to not just protect and preserve our forests and waterways, but to revitalize and restore the natural ecosystems of these valued conservation lands. Among our many projects that Dave has supported, the one that is most meaningful to me is his role assisting Winnakee's dedicated efforts to protect the Saltkill Creek and surrounding watershed in Red Hook, where we are standing today. The natural resource provides drinking water for Bard College and helps safeguard water quality for the Tivoli Bay's Wildlife Management Area, which the Saltkill flows into. The Saltkill watershed also supports several wildlife species, many of which are species of greatest conservation need. David Smith, a trustee of the Mikowski Trust, has worked tirelessly to ensure that the resources entrusted to him have the most effective possible impact on our environment, and we at Winnakee couldn't have successfully completed this project without him. Now, without further delay, let's all give a warm welcome to Winnakee's Good Land awardee, David Smith.
Thank you, Carl. It's a privilege and honor to accept this award tonight. I truly value Winnakee's commitment to saving our local forests. Forests are vital to life on Earth. They purify the air we breathe, filter the water we drink, prevent erosion, and act as an important buffer against climate change. Forests offer a home to a diverse array of plants and animals and provide essential natural resources. Our forested lands, waterways, and open spaces are irreplaceable. I personally felt called to collaborate with Winnakee to ensure the future of these places of public importance. I wanted to know that we were working to help preserve the unique character of the Hudson Valley before it is forever altered without thought for the value it holds. I'm convinced that we can find a better way to live in this beautiful valley, and I believe Winnakee's work is essential to accomplishing this. I encourage others, and especially young families, to invest in this unique locale by supporting Winnakee. I'm proud to be a part of this hardworking organization, and I'm humbled to be here with you tonight. Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed tonight's event, maybe even learned something about the magic of our region's forests and why we need your help to protect them. One thing is certain, it takes a community to make our work effective and lasting. As we've highlighted tonight, Protecting land from development is no longer enough to ensure our region's vibrant environmental future. We must all be active stewards of saving and revitalizing our landscapes. When we come together, that's when the real investment in our future happens. Winnakee thanks you for being an essential part of our work. We need you to make this vision happen. These 2 videos celebrate our programming and the community of dedicated volunteers and leaders who help us realize our mission every day.
Every day our world is spinning, there's a forest green, sacrificing everything so you and me can breathe. But we got a little problem, and it's sad to see. Through the years they've disappeared and lost priority. Oh, but we got the power to flip this script. Today, tomorrow, and a million days after that one, we'll stand and protect the land beneath our feet. Let's be the generation who will save it, so all of our children's children can celebrate, play, and breathe our forest green. In every city, every village, there's a water spring, flowing wild for miles and miles so we can sip it clean. But we got a situation, and it hurts to say, through the days they've washed away and keep on dwindling. Oh, but we got the power to flip the script. Today, tomorrow, and a million days after that one, we'll stand and protect the land beneath our feet. Let's be the generation who will save it, so all of our children's children can celebrate, play, and breathe our forest green. Every day our world is spinning, there's a forest green, sacrificing everything so you and me can breathe. But we got a little problem, and it's sad to see. Through the years we disappeared and lost priority. Oh, but we got the power to flip the script. Today, tomorrow, and a million days after that one, we'll stand and protect the land beneath our feet. Let's be the generation who will save it, so all of our children's children can celebrate, play, and breathe our forest rain.
Come on, everybody at home now.
In every city, every village, there's a water spring, flowing wild for miles and miles so we can sip it clean. But we got a situation, and it hurts to say, through the days they wash away and keep on dwindling. Oh, but we got the power to flip the script. Today, tomorrow, and a million days after that one, we'll stand and protect the land beneath our feet. Let's be the generation who will save it, so all of our children's children can celebrate, play, and breathe our forest green. We gotta save 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 our forest green.
Welcome to Fly Marsh and the Winnakee Enchanted Forest Ferry Condominium. I think I'm just about finished. It was just a lean-to, and the object was to turn it into something a little more fanciful, fairy-like. So, I mean, most of you who know me know I've been channeling my inner fairy for many, many years, but I am channeling my inner bird, in that there's very little of anything permanent here. It's all put together with twine and or weaving twigs and branches together. There's a real bird's nest inside, and the structure is remarkable, and so I kind of figured just keep weaving in and out. This goes in front of that, then it goes in back of that, and then it comes back in front, and pretty soon it's rigid. So that's the principle of the structure of this. I lost a tree this past spring, a rather beautiful pine tree that was suffering. Over it went, and I saw these branches, and I thought, this is it. This is what I will use. And I'm really glad that it happened, because it could have been very messy. My original idea was to just gather things from the forest, but instead what I ended up with was this structure. It's almost Gothic in a sense, in that there are these arching branches, and they all have this beautiful lichen that ties it all together. So it turned out to be quite lovely and not a mess. So you want to come inside and see it?